Hey everyone, and welcome to this edition of Buy This and Not That. So I was thinking this could be quite a fun one to do. I've done this video before, but many years ago, and it's one that a lot of you found quite interesting because I do try and show things that you would want to buy, but in my experience maybe not worth buying for reasons where I've road tested it and there have been issues with the product. But actually, because there are things you can get that are cheaper. So the first thing I want to start with is that I've got a version here that I'm going to show you. The Hermes Kelly. Okay, so when it comes to Hermes, that is like the creme de la creme brand if you want to buy something that's actually worth more than what it is the minute that you walk out of the store. And being able to actually go in the store and buy one of these items, even non-quota items. You know, I've said this a few videos ago, but I have had quite a few of you saying about non-quota bags being like, oh, they're really easy to get. And it's like, they're kind of not easy to get though. Even if they're not quota, you can still ask if they have any in stock without necessarily being laughed at. But they're not easy to get hold of because they rarely have stock. That makes sense. Like, for example, I really want an Hermes Constance so badly I want that bag. And can I get hold of one in store? No. They come through very rarely, and they probably give them to like top spenders. Not me, who hasn't really bought anything there, and I've got a second-hand bag basically. David did buy me a bag just recently, but that was under his name, not under mine. So technically I don't have any sort of history. But speaking about Hermes, the first that I really think is worth you getting if you can't get the Hermes Kelly is this. This is the Traviata bag by Lorna. I really recommend this bag. It's got Hermes Kelly vibes to it. It's got that sort of timeless, a bit 1950s top handle handbag style. You can get it in different sizes, and it's not a cheap bag. This I paid around £2,000 for. Now I think it's nearer £2,500. But I really recommend this brand. But also the other great thing with it is, and you don't have to be like a top customer to get this, anyone can do this, but you can custom them, you can customize them. So I decided to have pink on the sides and black all around here, and then on the inside I wanted pink suede. But you know what? You can get like most colors, and you can get the handle a different color to the flap, a different color to the body of the bag, to the sides, and the lining. You can really go to town customizing this. So if you like the silhouette shape of the Hermes Kelly, but you can't get the bag, or it's out of your budget because they are really expensive, have a think about this, because it's got, as I say, it's got like that similar feel to it. The Louis Vuitton Neverfull. This is a bag that, with me, I know it's like it's a very iconic bag, I feel. For me, I never really got along with it, and I've spoken about this before as well, but I don't have mine anymore. But I had the GM size, which is like the largest size. And I was using it just for like around town or just popping to the gym or whatever. And I actually found it a really annoying bag to use. It didn't hold its shape. It was bad for security. It just used to flop open all the time. And probably in the smaller sizes it would be better, but definitely in the GM size it drove me mad, and I got rid of it. But if you are thinking about the Neverfull, but you feel like it's a bit overplayed, it's a bit all over the place, maybe you like the shape of it and the fact that it's Louis Vuitton, but you don't like the monogram, because I really have gone off the monogram from Louis Vuitton. If you're the same, consider Longchamp. Le Pliage bag, they have got like a tote, which is also really good for security because it is closed on the top. But it's designer, it's a lot cheaper, and I feel like you aren't such a target with it. And it's kind of more quiet luxury. It doesn't scream a designer brand, but if you know, you know. I did actually buy, I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I did actually buy a Longchamp bag, and it turned up last week. I can't do it up now. And it's, you know, the mini Le Pliage. I don't know if I'm going to keep this though, because I mean, it was like £175, but I got it for £140 because there was like a coupon code at the time. And it does fit all of my stuff. It's not the biggest bag in the world. I don't know. As I say, I only got it because it was discounted. Okay, Louis Vuitton Murakami. At one point, like when the images were first leaked, sort of like at the end of 2024, I thought I was going to go crazy and buy all of this range. I really, really thought that. And then once it started, like, I mean, I don't think you can buy it anyway, although it's looking like it's easier to get now, but certainly during the hype, everything was sold out and it was going to top customers before anyone else, etc. I have noticed if you go on the website, there appears to be more availability, which is a hunch that I had. I kind of thought that at the time. I thought it's going to be really hard to get right now, but give it time. Once the hype has died down, I think it's going to be easier to get. And certain pieces you can now buy. But there's a downside to the Murakami range, more so if you get the white pieces, and that is that in my experience, having owned one of the white pieces, that canvas absorbs dirt and dye transfer way too easily. And I think particularly if you wear darker clothes as a general, I think what you might find, particularly if you buy the white pieces, are that they look quite tired quite quickly. I am looking here at the carry-all. I like the shape of this bag, but I wouldn't personally get it in the Murakami. But you know what bag I would probably get instead? Even though it's a very different price point, very different, but it's the Bottega Andiamo bag or Andiamo bag. I don't generally love Bottega bags. I think like they're quite expensive for what they are. Even though, are they? I mean, they're woven leather. I don't know. I mean, you could argue with all of these bags. The prices they sell them for are not a scratch, not a patch on what they cost to make. But this one has caught my eye. I like it. I like the little metal bow on it, and I think as a tote alternative, something that's more toned down without the big logo, I think this is really good. It's not to say that the carry-all is a bad bag though. I like it, do like it. I just am not a fan now of the white Murakami, and I don't like the classic brown monogram that you get from Louis Vuitton. But in terms of the silhouette of the bag, I really like it, and I like that little bow that's on it as well. But I think the Bottega bag is potentially an alternative you could consider. And then just two more. So Chanel, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I probably do. But I have spoken about the classic flap before. I really like this bag, but I don't know that I would buy it again. I think it's very expensive for what it is. I don't feel like the price now stacks up to what you're getting. I would rather buy Pre-Loved. And I do have, this is obviously vintage. When I say pre-loved, you don't have to go and buy some dusty old vintage bag though. Not that this is dusty, but it is vintage. It is from 1989 from memory. You don't have to do this. There are some really great bags out there that are modern day, very lightly used, and they're like 40 or sometimes 50% discount on the current retail price. Just because I feel like Chanel have priced themselves out now. When it comes to pre-loved, I'm seeing this bag is nearly £10,000. That's, when I'm looking at them pre-loved, that is not a patch on what they're selling for. They're selling for like 5, 6, 7,000, not 10K. But the vintage ones are, they're doing quite well. They're holding their own. So I got this from Luxury Promise a few years ago, and this was around about £2,600, literally. And it's such a sweet little bag. Look, it's got the red Chanel interior in it. I don't worry about this bag when I'm using it. If it scratches, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even scratch. I don't know, like the lambskin back then seemed to be a lot more hard wearing than it is now, but I really recommend it. And one thing I was going to say, I might have said it at the beginning of this video, I'm not sure, but I spoke to Luxury Promise a couple of days ago, and because I'm friends with Sabrina, who runs Luxury Promise, and I said, oh, do you know what, you've got some great bags at the moment, and I'm going to talk about them in this video because obviously, like, I got this from Luxury Promise, and so I was going to mention. And she said, do you want a coupon code to share with everyone? And I was like, wow, okay, yeah. She's given me a 10% off coupon code that works on everything, including Hermes. So costume jewellery, Chanel bags, Hermes bags, clothes, shoes, just jewellery in general. To get it to work, go on the website, go to the little magnifying glass search feature and type DXB or DBX. So those SKUs come up in the title of certain items, and anything that has that in those titles, the coupon code will work on. I would say to hurry up, because when I checked yesterday, there was something I added to my shopping cart and it's sold out already. So probably is worth you going and having a check. I'm not paid by them. I just thought I would share it, and I thought it was very nice of her to do that. So if you did want to buy one of these bags, you can make an extra saving using that. Okay, and then the final one is, you know how I really want the Hermes Constance? Oh my God, so badly do I want this bag. I went shopping with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and we're in central London, and we got there quite early to shop. And we went into Selfridges, because she's like a Selfridges girl. And we go in there, and I said to her, do you know what, I'm just going to go and ask Hermes, out of curiosity, whether they have a Constance. And I was so shocked, like pleasantly surprised, okay, because get this, no, they didn't have one. But there was no one in Hermes, like the little concession there. And we got talking to the nicest two sales associates. They were lovely, and they were so sweet, so friendly. Really, like you could tell they were happy to be working there, like just a nice environment. And I said to one of them, have you got any Constance? Ideally a size 24, don't really care what colour, ideally Epsom or Togo leather, but you know, I like a textured leather on these bags. Anyway, he did come back. He was gone quite a while because he went to look, and he came back and said, I've been looking everywhere and we don't have any Constance whatsoever. We've got loads of men's bags in right now, but we don't have anything women's bags. So I also checked at Harrods and at New Bond Street, because we were like walking past those places anyway, just on our shopping day, and no one had any. But I will say, everyone that we asked didn't just say no, they actually went and looked. I don't know, it gave me hope that maybe I won't have to buy one secondhand, because I have no problem buying secondhand, but obviously particularly with Hermes, you pay overs when you buy secondhand, and I'm not sure that I want to do that. But there is a bag that has also caught my eye, which has got Constance vibes, and it's from Cartier. And I've been showing you this bag on and off for at least 1 year, maybe 2. I can't remember when this bag was launched, but I love it. I love the version that looks more like the size 24 Constance is slightly square looking. I like that satchel design. I love that deep red Cartier shade that you can get this bag in. I like their logo on the front. It's kind of, if you know, you know. I would buy the bag. I mean, it's like, I think it's under 3,500 from memory. It's not like 10K, you know. It might even be around 2,800 or something. Last time I checked, it was 2,000 something pounds, which for that bag, I've seen it in real life, and I thought that's a fair price for a Cartier bag. That's a good price for what you're getting, leather, etc. And you've got that sort of Constance look without spending Constance money. And also, you can actually get hold of one. It's not like with the Constance where they are very rare. So they are my top things of like, buy this, don't buy that. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there any things here and you're like, no, you're really wrong, like you should just go and buy what I'm telling you not to buy? Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.